Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to learn about the past simple tense. First, let's understand what the past simple tense is. The past simple tense is used to talk about actions or events that happened and finished in the past. In other words, if something started and ended yesterday, last week, last year, or at a specific time in the past, we use the past simple tense. The past simple tense is used to talk about actions or events that happened and finished in the past. In other words, if something started and ended yesterday, last week, last year, or at a specific time in the past, we use the past simple tense. Now, let's look at an example. I visited Paris last year. In this sentence, the verb visited is in the past simple tense. The time expression last year tells us exactly when the action happened. The action is completely finished, so we use the past simple tense. Let's learn how to form the past simple tense. For regular verbs, we usually add ed to the base verb. For example, walk becomes walked, play becomes played, and talk becomes talked. For irregular verbs, we don't use the ed rule. Instead, they have their own past forms, such as go right pointing arrow went, have right pointing arrow had, and see right pointing arrow saw. For negative and question forms, we use did plus base verb. For example, I did not go. Did you see it? Remember, after did, always use the base form of the verb. Now, let's practice the three forms of the past simple tense. First, we have the affirmative form or positive sentence. For example, she cooked dinner last night. The verb cooked shows that the action was completed in the past. Next, for the negative form, we use did not plus base verb. For example, they did not watch the movie. Notice that after did not, we use the base verb watch, not watched. Finally, for the question form, we use did plus subject plus base verb. For example, did you finish your homework? Now, try making your own sentences using these three forms. Now, let's look at some common mistakes and tips when using the past simple tense. First, remember that after did, we always use the base verb. For example, we say, did you go? Not, did you went? Another common mistake is confusing the past simple with the present perfect tense. Remember, past simple is used for actions that are finished at a specific time in the past. To improve your past simple, practice and memorize irregular verb forms, such as go right pointing arrow went and have right pointing arrow had. A great way to practice is to tell a story about your last weekend using past simple sentences.